Hello and happy Armed Forces Day. So into this video, we are going to play a word puzzle game where it's a mystery message puzzle. And I'm going to give you certain clues to uncover a word. And the first letter of each of those answers will give us a message all about Armed Forces Day. So let's get started. So like I said, there's going to be clues that we'll go over, and we have to uncover the word that matches the clue. And as you can see, this first row all the way down is in purple. And the first letter of each of the words that we uncover will create a message all about Armed Forces Day. So the first clue is can't do without. So what is a word that means can't do without? So it's something that is necessary. So we're looking for a word that is 4 letters long. And each of the words that we uncover are actually 4 letters long. So something that is necessary is not necessarily something that is a want or something that we can live without, but something that we what? And I'll give you a hint. It starts with an N. Yes, when we can't live without something, it's something that we need. Okay, so the message that we're looking for starts with an N. So the second word, the clue is pledge. So when there's a pledge, what's another word for a pledge? So what is a pledge? A pledge, so like an organization might have a mission or a statement that they live by or value, right? So regarding armed forces, so each unit in the military has a pledge that they stand for or something that they repeat often as a reminder of what they stand for. So and it begins with an O. Yes, an O. Yes, an O. Okay, so the first word of our message is no. Okay, so we're on to our next group, our next word, and the first clue to this next word to give us the first letter is distinctive clothing. Distinctive clothing. This one might be a little bit challenging because uniform is a distinctive clothing in the military, right? But uniform is way too long, right? So it can't be uniform. Think of a slang word for distinctive clothing that might be used in the military. I'll give you a hint. It starts with a G, and it's 4 letters long. Remember, it's like a slang word or a nickname for the clothing. Any guesses? I would not have guessed this, but maybe if you served in the military, use this word to describe your clothing that you had to wear. But it is garb. G-A-R-B, garb. So the second word of our message starts with the letter G. So our next clue to the word that we need to find is a troop group. So in the military, there's lots of different groups. There's the Army, the Navy, the Coastal Guard, right? Each of these are called what of the military or armed forces? What's another word to describe a troop group? Yes, it starts with a U and it's unit. So if you served in the military, what unit did you, were you a member of? The next one would, I think, is a given and will be an easy one to guess. Dog blank. Dog blank. It's 4 letters long. If you served in the military, you might have gotten this to identify yourself. Yes, tags. So far to our next word of our message is G-U-T. Let's look for the last letter. So the clue is water vessel. So if you served in the Navy, this one will be easy. But what's another way of saying water vessel? Boat, B-O-A-T, okay, but typically you don't call a water vessel a boat in the military. They are what? Yes, ships. So ship. So far our message reads, no guts. Okay, we have half of our message uncovered. Let's go to the second half. Marshall Time Force. Marshall Time Force. Well, what does Marshall Time mean? It's describing one of the units or one of the groups, right, in the military. And Marshall Time it typically connects with what? The water or the ocean, right? So what troop, what unit of the military is connected with the water? Yes, the Navy. The Navy. Okay. The second letter to the word. So this is the last half. So it's a 2-letter word that we're looking for in the message. And the clue is rowing need. So when you row a boat, what is necessary or a need in order to move that boat or that canoe or that small vessel from one point to the other? Okay, a sail, S-A-I-L, that works, but is there a word that is N-S? No, so can't be sail, but you're rowing. That gives it, so a sail, yes, pushes that vessel from one point to the other using wind, but when you're rowing the boat, when the person in the boat is rowing, they need a what? Yes, an oar. So oars. So far we have no, guts, no, and we need the last word of the message. Okay, so this skinny one right here, because I didn't realize that I needed one more row. But the clue is entryway. Entryway. Well, door, okay, D-O-O-R. But I can tell you that's the wrong answer. Sometimes in an entry, you will find this before the door as a protection or safeguard. So think of a home. What is before the door that's used for protection or safeguard that you have to go through before you reach the door? Or maybe it's used as an entryway to get from the front of a building to the back of the building. What is used? I'll give you the first letter, and it starts with a G. So those are some added hints to the clue. So it's not a door, but it's something before the door that is used to protect or safeguard, an added tool. It's also a way to get from the front of the building to the back of the building. Yes, it's a gate. A gate. Okay, the next word we need to uncover to help us finish the mystery message is lantern. Lantern. So lanterns give us light, right? L-I-G, no, but can't be light because light is 5 letters and we're looking for a 4-letter word. Maybe think of another term or another way of saying lantern. So another word that we maybe can use in place of lantern. It means the same thing. And I'll give you the clue that the next letter in the message is an L. So this word starts with an L. And a lantern gives off light. So think of something else that gives off light like a lantern. Yes, a lamp. Okay, before we move on, our secret message is no guts, no, and we're still looking for the full word, but it starts with a GL. Does anyone know what the secret message is by just what we have so far? And I think this might be a term used or is familiar with those that have served in our armed forces. If you know it, don't say it out loud quite yet. Just keep it, to yourself. And let's go on to the next letter. So that others in the room, if you're doing this with other friends or family members, that you don't give it away. So the third word, or the third letter that we are looking for is complete. The clue is complete. When something is complete, we're finished with it or we're done with it. What's another word? Well, done, D-O-N-E, it works, but I don't think there's a word that has a G-L-D that starts a word off. So it can't be done. Finish is too long of a word. A clue, think of a race. When you run a race or you're in a race, you begin at the start line and you finish at the finish line, right? So when you cross that finish line, you have what? Yeah, you have completed the race, or that race is, it starts with an O. Yes, the race is over. So when you have completed something, you're done with it. It is over. Okay, so no guts, no GLO. Are you getting close to uncovering the mystery message? Or do you need some help still? We have 2 more hints to uncover words to help us out. The next word we're looking for, and its clue or its hint is surprise attack. So what is another way of saying a surprise attack? Any ideas? Surprise attack. If you know that it starts with an R, you're probably right. So the word we're looking for starts with the R and it's 4 letters long, and it means a surprise attack. Yes, a raid. Okay, we're 1 word down to figure out our mystery message. So we have no guts, no. Do you know what it is? Let's see if this hint can help us uncover the last letter of the message by figuring out the last word. If you still need help. Drill sergeant attention getter. So if you have been in the military, you definitely know what this is, or you definitely have experienced this, especially in boot camp. How does a drill sergeant get the attention of its unit or the soldiers? Yes, by repetitive chants, but does this drill sergeant just talk normal voice? Or how do they express those commands? Yes, they yell. So our last word we needed to uncover our Armed Forces Day message was yell, was a Y. So our message reads, no guts, no glory. Have you heard or even used that message or that phrase before? How many have served our country? Did this message, has this message been said before? No guts, no glory. It does take a lot of guts and a lot of courage and bravery to sacrifice your time and your lives to serve our country. And to end, I just want to thank each of you who have served our country, who have sacrificed so much for the freedoms of our country. So thank you. There's so much gratitude because it did take a lot of guts for you to do that. But in reward, I'm sure you got a lot of glory and a lot of blessings from it. So thank you. And that is our Armed Forces Day secret message puzzle. I hope you enjoyed it and that you feel honored this day for serving our country in whatever capacity you have.